Hello and welcome to my podcast, Heal the Healer. Today, my guest is Yelena Okhman. Yelena is an incredible healer. She's very powerful. She has access to cosmic energies. She can solve problems within seconds. She has access to past lives, future lives, different dimension, different galaxy. It's unbelievable what she can do. She works as a cosmic surgeon. So if there's something you've been struggling with for years and you don't know why, there's a health problem, there's a family, if there's something bothering you, she can fix it within seconds. It's unbelievable. I want to share experience that I've had with Yelena. I contact her, I ask Yelena for help like almost every day. She's really my go-to healer, and she helps me to switch from being depleted, disoriented, collapsed, confused to active, empowered, energetic. So it's a very emotional meeting for me today. But what I want to share with you, it's about my
Mhm.
cat. So I had a cat that had a trauma, and he was paralyzed in his front legs. So for 2 weeks he couldn't walk. He's a young, healthy cat, but there's something happened. He injured himself. He couldn't get up on his front legs. And I met with Yelena at the beach in one of those days. And then I asked her if she could look what's wrong with my cat. And the cat wasn't even there. So we're at the beach with Yelena. I'm asking her what's wrong with the cat. So she closes her eyes. She gets her hands together and she says, "Oh, there." And she connects things. She says, boom, she just connected whatever was missing. The signal was not coming through. She connected it. She shook her hands. Next day, the cat got up. So if this is not amazing, I don't know what is. Let's welcome Yelena Okhman. And my first question to her is, what was it like for you growing up? I know you grew up in Ukraine like myself, and anything you want to share with us today?
Mm. Aloha, Anya. I'm so grateful to be here today and just dive into this beautiful realm of magical, conscious presence and share the knowledge and share the past and the future. But as I believe everything is one, so as we speak about the past, I truly feel that the almost every small or big or experiences that we have experienced is right here with us in this moment, and that's why the quantum loop of healing is possible. We can just really heal fast if we're ready. That's why I like
Amazing.
magically with that cat, because most of the times animals are less mental, like when we are so much in our mind,
Mhm.
we're so much stuck, so if the healing comes in, it comes in like it just opens up. And when it's meant to be, of course, by divine flow. So it's and for the people, sometimes we really need to dive into the past, or correct today and connect future. So, but my past, I was born in the Soviet Union era, which was kind of like, lost in time now. So we don't have any more. We have only memories of that time, and very vivid memories. I had a beautiful childhood as a child. I had a
Mhm.
beautiful time growing up because I lived in Odessa, and Odessa, it's one of the most beautiful places in Europe, just like outstandingly beautiful. It was built like a small Paris, and we had a French mayor, and it was
Mhm.
free zone. It was like for Porta Franca for 100 nationalities starting up. And Catherine the Great, she established it. And for us who grew up in Odessa, the humor and the sense of happiness and
Mm.
joyfulness was in nature. It was like French, they say tranquille, it's like the lifestyle of being joyful, happy, and really celebrate summer,
Mm.
because summertime is Odessa was waking up, was sea with people. So I remember it very beautifully how was everything was opening up during summer, and sleeping through the winter times. Winters were not that beautiful. So the cycle of life that I never liked winters for some reason, the way they were in
Mhm.
Odessa, because there was no snow. It was more like kind of Vancouver weather, but colder. And the summers were like the celebrations of life, so that's why I like now on Kauai, and for me summer is my
Mhm.
my life continues. And as a
Mhm.
child, I was a different child, in a way how I can look back without being attached to it. So I remember when I was very little, like maybe a few months in being
Mm.
born, and I remember when I first time I stood up, I was holding myself, standing on the balcony. I remember the
Mhm.
moment when I start walking. I remember clearly the
Mhm.
moment when I start walking. It was like
Wow. Mhm.
aha, I was like, oh my God, the whole
Mhm.
body like a joy, and then I remember when I was going through like a interesting time of believing that everybody knows what I know and everybody sees as I see.
Mhm.
And then maybe it took me like up to 6 7 years to realize that what I see is different, so and sometimes like when I was a kid, I was at the kindergarten and there was a man passing by and I knew that he killed somebody. I just saw it.
Mhm.
And I was scared that he knows I know because I just
Mhm.
thought of it, because I thought everybody
Mhm.
is like that.
Yes.
And he looked at me and I was like, oh, wow. So sometimes that type of a knowledge comes with some kind of a, you have to be really ready to be holding that type of,
Mhm.
when you live in an environment that is not safe.
Mhm.
So Soviet Union was quite happy, safe place, but at the same time, it has had a lot of other things that we were not really free in the way of self-expression, in the freedom of thought, freedom of
Mhm.
religion. So we kind of grew up in a box, but box was, in my case, was really happy box, And at the age of 5, I knew all the yogic poses, like I could stretch myself to all the directions as if I knew. I came
Mhm.
with yoga,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
I could do like 100 push-ups, and I had like incredible body and
Yeah.
had
Mhm.
incredible physique. And as a gymnast, I tried gymnastics, and they signed me right away into Olympic team. And
Wow.
just
Mhm.
like, got it. She's so talented. And my father said no because
Mhm.
they stretch very violently, because their goal was like to get somebody ready for the Olympics, and they didn't care
Mhm.
about, they put the man was standing on my knees just to stretch the knees, and my dad comes in like, oh no, I cannot let it happen. So he pulled
Mhm.
me out of it. But it was very interesting how
Mhm.
life could have unfolded, but there are almost all these different doors that been opened and closed,
Mhm.
including gymnastics that could have happened really successfully and didn't. And at the same time, I remember I lived in a beautiful building with many people, and we knew everybody. It was like, we
Mhm.
knew names, we knew, like, I could go to
Mhm.
my neighbor's kid, like anytime, knock at the door, eat dinner with them, and my mom was fine because we knew everybody. And I had like about 5 or 6 old women, my
Mhm.
friends, my best friends. I was coming to visit them, looking through the pictures, and I was actually training them to die, because at the age of 5 6 I knew how to die because I didn't forget. Now I don't remember as much as I remember because I came
Mhm.
through, and the whole
Wow.
passage was incredibly
Mhm.
open, and I was teaching them, and it came just so naturally. And when they were dying, I knew like 3 days before, and maybe like a week after, I could feel the vortex, and it was very painful for me
Wow.
to see it.
Mhm.
So there's some clairvoyant side effects I didn't know how to handle because nobody was with me who could train me. Like, if the child of that caliber
Mhm.
be born with the gift, so it's nice when somebody like teaches them, like
Yes.
llamas, they're
Mhm.
born, and they go and just, here we go,
Mhm.
they come with a gift. That's why these gifts become open from the early age. In
Mhm.
our situation, it was different because in the Soviet Union, it was not really even safe to be that open and to be that
Yes.
psychic, because then you can
Mhm.
just be grabbed and worked in the government, which I knew, like from that incident, that I realized that,
Mhm.
I thought too much. I decided to be like more in disguise, like not really be
Mhm.
open, like as a safety. And it was very interesting, like how the gift always carried me on through life, but I never used it to the point of really being in embodying it with my life because of the where I lived. So that was, and then it opened up when I moved to Canada, and I had an astrologer who I met on the board of a ship when I was 20. He just insisted on reading my chart, and I'm like, okay, just tell me about it. And all, as a 20,
Mhm.
20-year-old, was not completely like in a spiritual grounded state, like just exploring life and being happy. And he said, like, and he gave me the age. And he said, you're going to be somewhere else where you can
Mhm.
really tap into your gifts. And I
Mhm.
was like, okay. and he gave me a lot of information, and I was like, oh, maybe. And it actually happened when I moved to Canada. And
Mm-hmm.
in Canada, when it was beautifully, like, Vancouver, BC. It has
Mm-hmm.
so much esoteric, so much spirituality, so much freedom of any kind,
Mm-hmm.
and the movement of of the pranic healing was very, developed there. There were like clinics that people could
Yeah.
come and receive energy
Mm-hmm.
healing, and it was very popular. And I came in and I started working with them, and it was really an amazing experience. So
Mm-hmm.
whatever was predicted for me to open up, it actually
Mm-hmm.
happened, and that was the kind of the next step where all the gifts were able to like show up and actually be connected to the source where people could receive the healings. And that was nice time. It was early 2000s, so I have a few friends who I met that they're very successful healers, well, like world like caliber, who
Mm-hmm.
were together in that group, so when it was kind of early 2000s, like the opening for
Mm-hmm.
that type of healing work.
And what about right now? So you live in Hawaii now in this, paradise, also a very spiritual island of Kauai. And you're very aware of your gifts right now. You're in full possession. You know how to use them. If there's any challenges that you still have in your life, if there's anything that you find difficult.
Mm. Well, I had a situation in my life that I had to start like making living, and
Mm-hmm.
I chose to ground myself through working with real estate,
Mm-hmm.
even though like it's a very I would say it's probably one of the most challenging professions that you have
Yes.
to learn so much. But at the same time, the practicality of the application of my knowledge was kind of fascinating because
Mm-hmm.
people didn't have expectation from me as a healer. And at the
Yes.
same
Uh-huh.
time, the expectation of the disposable real estate agent, because there's
Mm-hmm.
so many and everybody wants, it
Yeah.
was very interesting to work through this, like expectations and patterns of thinking who this person would be,
Mm-hmm.
and still doing my work as a heal the deal. So I created
Yes.
that
Mm-hmm.
approach, setting attention before you sell or buy, clearing the space, working with people like on all levels, emotional and mentally,
Mm-hmm.
supporting them through the transaction.
Yeah.
It's I learned so much about human psychology through the process
Mm-hmm.
of had no expectation of me
Mm-hmm.
as a healer, because
Mm-hmm.
people come from the worst point. Like when I was a healer, everybody was so nice. It was, oh, please help me da. And
Mm-hmm.
then all of a sudden I see, oh my goodness, that's could how it could be. And at the same time, it was a knowledge of knowingness, what is real, what is not, and living through the reality of transaction from A to B, like completing no matter what, pretty much in a best way to serve my clients, whatever choices there are. Sometimes we work through the transaction. I worked with my client for 4 years, going through the flood, like when it was flooded in the Hyena. I had to go to Vainica through like portal that nobody can go. I was getting all this
Mm-hmm.
kind of like, permissions. And then at the end, when we got offers after 2 years, and they took it off the market, and they said like, we cannot sell. And I'm like, okay, guys, I'm so happy because you're happy. You have to
Mm-hmm.
develop that attitude, even though I spent
Wow.
so
Mm-hmm.
much time. And I'm
Yeah.
really happy for them, because I know it's like such an incredible
Mm-hmm.
tool of polishing your like relationship with the world, and I feel
Yeah.
like I'm completed it in a way that I got my
Mm-hmm.
brokers, and
Yeah.
now I'm in a different phase. But that was very interesting experience, and I never stopped doing healing work, but I just did it along the way. And for animals, like distant healing, I always enjoyed. I healed less people, but I was really enjoying, because animals had this incredible gift of receiving. And if it was meant for them to be healed, it was just like a beautiful feast,
Mm-hmm.
seeing, yes, like how like it's yes, it changes this like animal life. And yeah, I love that. Mhm.
Wow, so you combine almost two opposite, sides, the real estate with the brick and mortar, like all this concrete stuff,
Mhm.
with
Mhm.
the very spiritual healing. I'm getting chills right now. So with the spiritual healing aspect, just blending it in. And you still have the
Mhm.
website, right? Heal the Deal.
Yes, the Heal the Deal website was kind of scammed out. I had
Mhm,
like one person who was trying to. It was very interesting experience.
mhm,
Like nowadays, also through this, I had an amazing, beautiful website that completely collapsed after
mhm.
like a few months.
Interesting.
But
Yeah.
I still have an Instagram like
Yeah.
Heal the Deal, and I also use it through my work now very openly. In the beginning, like 15 years ago, people were not open to
Hmm.
get that kind of like real estate
Yes.
advice.
Uh-huh.
And now I'm like, okay, let's just set intention. And
Yeah.
even people who are not into it will kind of melt down. And
Hmm.
the goal becomes like more achievable. I helped Hawaiian family to land into Hawaii homelands for 2 years and 9 months.
Hmm.
And it's the most difficult. I completed my PhD in real estate with them because the
Uh-huh.
most difficult, like with
Hmm.
Hawaiian leasehold, with a house that is pretty much not livable, with 8 junk cars, and
Hmm.
now they moved in after 2 years and 9 months, and
Wow.
it
Congratulations.
was a
Uh-huh.
huge healing for the even for the whole neighborhood.
Yeah.
And also for them, they're so grateful, and I'm so happy. But that's type of like blending in is now much more relaxed and achievable, and also supported by the world, how I see. Or maybe
Yes.
maybe clients are coming like who are in that
No,
flow
things
too,
are changing. Things are
Mm-hmm.
definitely changing. So much
Mm-hmm.
awareness. And
Mm-hmm.
um, what brings you the most joy right now? So coming from the difficulties, what is something that fills your cup?
My joy, I had a beautiful time discovering my voice, because I had situations in my life where my voice
Mm.
was really closed
Hmm.
up due to, like, when I was 7 years old, I loved singing. I had a beautiful teacher, like a choir, and she talked to my parents and she
Hmm.
sings so beautifully like a bird,
Hmm.
let her sing.
Hmm.
My dad grabs me and said, okay, let's go. I have a friend. And the friend is the person who plays piano with one of the best opera singers.
Hmm.
And I come in a little small 7-year old, and she said, okay, just sing. And I was like, oh, and I
Hmm.
start singing, and she looked in my eyes, she looked at my dad, and she said, don't waste your time on her. and, and it kind of closed up my voice. And
Wow.
then it took me a while to be able to get, but then when I met Bettina, I had an amazing teacher of the voice,
Hmm.
and it's like, it's also kind of getting your spiritual voice, your inner voice.
Hmm.
And one of this, after like 7 years of doing like song circles, prayers, is like incredible time to learn all of that, And I in the one day workshop, we were sitting in meditation, and the question was, what brings you joy? I saw that it having like people together in a circle and doing healing work as a group, like almost opened up my heart to the level of like, wow, you can get this
Hmm.
service to community when people can lean back anytime they need to come to a support
Hmm.
group, unconditional, confidential,
Yeah.
compassionate, because everybody comes with your own situation. And it's been
Yeah.
like 2.5 years. I hold it every week,
Hmm.
and it's free. So I don't charge for that. And the breadth of the group is always different, so it's like
Yeah.
there is a core group, then people
Hmm.
graduate because their life becomes easier, then other
Hmm.
people go, and I don't advertise. So that joy, creation of that kind of like a bag,
Hmm.
like where people can come back to and anytime they need. So it's no
Yeah.
commitment. You can come in
Hmm.
6 months, and it's been beautiful. Like I had a healing circle yesterday, and it was one of the most different that ever, and still so
Hmm.
powerful and beautiful. Yeah.
Wow.
And that brings me joy. And then next time when
Hmm.
Bettina was here, she lives in Ibiza, she came and she was in that workshop again, that group of people, and I was sitting and like, what brings you joy? And I'm like, God, brings me joy to ignite people's hearts, and be
Hmm.
either politician or do like public speaking in a way how you can empower people through connecting to their hearts and waking them up to life in the best they can. And it's a beautiful calling, and I was so surprised through that meditation, and now it's actually unfolding. Yeah,
Wow.
it's beautifully aligning
Hmm.
with all what I'm doing. It's
Yes.
And I feel like I'm very joyfully stepping into political realm,
Hmm.
which pretty much people all say all this. like real estate also. They say, wow,
Mm-hmm.
it's so and this and that, and politics and this and that. But my joy comes with the connecting with people, bringing best in them, uniting them, seeing the not the separation, but the unity in their what we all want is the same. We want to have
Mm-hmm.
happy, peaceful life with food on the table, with roof under
Yeah.
your like and beloved ones be with
Mm-hmm.
you. It's
Yeah.
simple, and if we can work
Mm-hmm.
together and create safe space and abundance of that kind,
Oh,
for each other, I think it's good. It's the new earth that where we're all
that's
heading into.
all right. And there's one thing if you could recommend the listeners, there's
Mm-hmm.
one thing they can do in their life right now to get closer to that new earth, to bring harmony in their own lives and the people around them and their animals. There's something they can do daily, there's a way to tap into that.
Well, there are a few things, so, but the first thing that comes to me is actually find the joy.
Hmm. Find your own joy.
Yes, just like if you're not a meditator, if you're not practicing any kind of, like energy work or spirituality, just write up your intention. I would love to know what brings my joy in my heart, the
Hmm.
depths of your being, like the joyful, and tune into that joy. It could be anything. It could be
Yeah.
cutting the grass, it could be planting seeds, it could be baking, it could be, but I know when we are inspired from our heart and we bring this energy to the world,
Hmm.
to the community, everybody feels it.
Absolutely. Oh,
Uh,
let's affirm
yes.
it.
And ground yourself.
Mhm.
Go to nature,
Gotcha.
ground yourself, feel the tree behind your back. Just
Mhm.
be one with nature as
So,
much as you can,
mhm,
because the intimacy and the authenticity of this incredible nature that we all have, and sometimes we don't even
mhm,
see. We drive and in our mind we solve all these problems. We don't see how beautiful everything is. And once you feel it
mhm.
and tap into it and become part of it energetically, the miracles will happen.
Hey,
Yeah.
that's a
Uh,
beautiful message. It's a beautiful message. Tap
mhm,
into your joy, ground yourself, see the beauty
mhm,
around you, and the
mhm.
rest is just going to unfold naturally. Is it?
Yes, and make step. Choose
Good
to
steps.
choose from this to bliss. It's the choice
Mhm.
of, like, sometimes we think of things and we stay there, and it
Yes.
still becomes like a
Uh-huh.
dreamland. I'm calling for where you are, no matter how deep your sadness, depression, or difficulty in life. So everybody comes from somewhere. It's a
Yeah.
geography, right? But
Hmm.
the steps to make towards your joy, you can start by little, but you have to move. I would recommend, like, it's a neuro linguistic programming. When you come from this to bliss, the bliss is the feeling how you
Hmm.
would love to feel, even though you are not there yet. Just imagine and allow yourself to feel. It could be anything. It could be like a mortgage free, yeah, or
Hmm.
my
Hmm.
kid is in college and everything is
Yeah.
paid off, or it could be your painting or you can be your
Hmm.
neighbor who you bake this incredible
Hmm.
pie or bread, and they're like, oh god, I'm so happy to eat it. Like, just little things, but feel how you want to feel and do it every day.
Hmm.
It could be meditation before going to bed, it could be when you wake up, when you brush your teeth, whatever, but just do it regularly and make steps and feel and live it from this to bliss.
That's beautiful. Speaking of bliss.
Live your bliss.
Yes,
Joy. And
very
once
much.
you are expanding, once you're bringing that much joy, your environment will change. People will be in resonance.
Yes, you're gonna attract different people, different events. you'll be made,
Yes.
how things
Yes.
can shift around.
Yes.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
totally
Yeah.
resonate
So
with that.
I wish I can bring this beautiful, energy into Kauai County Council.
You
It will be,
will.
yeah, it will be
Let's
so
make
interesting.
announcement, because not everybody knows. So people that are on Kauai listening,
Mhm.
Yelena is running for a city council as a representative. Is that right?
No, it's non-partisan. I'm calling for we're strong together. And my message
Strong
is to
together.
unite everybody to make Ireland more beautiful, safe,
Mhm.
amazing, abundant, and connected from heart to heart.
Beautiful. I mean, this kind of people we want to represent us and be there and lead the way, So if you're on Kauai, please support Yelena. I don't know a more deserving person to be in the city or to be anywhere for that point. Everywhere she goes, she elevates energy, she brings joy, she brings healing, she brings ground, and she's a truly gifted person from God. And I just want to celebrate this and honor her and thank you so much for shining your light and sharing it with us for this moment. It's such a pleasure knowing you. I cannot be more grateful. You're a gift to this world.
Thank you so
Oh.
much, Anya. Thank you. Love you. And I'm all the blessings to you and everybody who listens it. Like, let this joy be coming from our hearts, always. Thank you. So I'm blessing and
Oh.
I'm sending this love,
Mhm.
Divine Mother's love, just love. Love yourself. Love yourself unconditional. It comes from that very simple and very deep shift that we all need.
It's
Thank you.
beautiful. Thank you for your time. And until we see you again. So if people want to get in touch with you, how do they find you? So it's
Oh.
Instagram and tell us how to find you.
Well, my Facebook account, you can find me easily on like Facebook or LinkedIn, or just
What's
Google
your
Yeah,
name?
yeah, Yelena for Kauai
Yelena
is my
Okhman.
yeah, or Yelena for Kauai is my political campaign,
Sure.
but
Mhm.
again, so Facebook, Instagram, and yeah, there my phone number, so you can text me.
Sure.
Mm-hmm,
And I'll put your contact info down below under the
mm-hmm,
video so people can
hmm.
find you. I know a lot of people are going to want to find you.
Sounds
All right.
good.
Thank you
Thank
so
you. Thank
much.
you. Thank
Thank
you.
you for being
Blessings to
here with
all.
us.
Mhm, mhm.
Oh.